I want to start with something almost everyone has experienced, but very few people talk about honestly. You're lying in bed, the room is quiet, the day is over, and then, out of nowhere, your brain brings something back. A conversation, a mistake, a weird moment from years ago, something embarrassing. Maybe it was small, maybe nobody else even remembers it, but suddenly, your mind replays it like it happened 5 minutes ago. You feel the discomfort again, the awkwardness, the shame, and the strange part is, you didn't choose to think about it, it just appeared. So the question becomes, why? Why does your brain replay embarrassing moments at night? When you're trying to rest, let's break it down. The first reason is simple. Your brain processes unresolved experiences during quiet moments. During the day, your attention is busy, work, people, screens, noise, but at night, those distractions disappear, and suddenly, your mind has space again. Space to process things it ignored earlier. The second reason is emotional memory. Your brain remembers emotional experiences more strongly than neutral ones, especially experiences connected to social discomfort. Because for humans, social rejection once meant danger, being embarrassed, being judged, being excluded. Your brain evolved to remember those moments carefully, so you could avoid repeating them. And even though modern life is different now, that survival system still exists. The third reason is self-awareness. Some people don't just experience moments, they analyze themselves inside those moments. How did I sound? What did they think of me? Did I look stupid? And once your brain starts asking those questions, the moment becomes emotionally charged, which makes it easier to replay later, especially at night, when your mind is no longer distracted. The fourth reason is unfinished emotional processing. Embarrassment often creates emotional tension that never fully resolves because most embarrassing moments end externally, but continue internally. The conversation ends, people move on, life continues, but your brain keeps returning to it, trying to solve the feeling, trying to make sense of it, trying to reduce the discomfort. The fifth reason is overthinking. Your brain believes that replaying the moment might somehow help you avoid future mistakes. If I analyze it enough, maybe I'll never feel that again. So your mind loops the memory repeatedly, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it thinks it's protecting you. The sixth reason is nighttime vulnerability. At night, your emotional defenses become weaker. You're tired, less stimulated, less distracted, and that makes emotional memories feel louder. Thoughts that seemed small during the day can suddenly feel intense at night because your brain has less external input competing for attention. The seventh reason is something deeper. Embarrassing memories often connect to identity, not just, that moment was awkward, but what does that say about me? And once embarrassment becomes connected to self-image, your brain treats it as important information, something worth remembering, something worth analyzing. Now here's where it gets important. The problem usually isn't the embarrassing moment itself. It's the meaning your brain attaches to it afterward. Because over time, your mind stops replaying what happened and starts replaying what it thinks the moment meant. That I'm awkward. That I'm weird. That people secretly judge me. And those interpretations feel real, even when they aren't. But here's the truth most people never realize. Most people are too focused on themselves to remember your embarrassing moments for very long, just like you're mostly focused on yours. And even when people do remember something awkward, they rarely experience it with the same emotional intensity you do, because they weren't inside your nervous system when it happened. You were. That's why the memory feels so much stronger to you. Now, once you understand this, something begins to change. You stop treating every embarrassing memory like evidence and start seeing it for what it actually is. A moment. Not an identity. Not a permanent definition of who you are. Just a moment your nervous system marked as emotionally important. And once you stop fighting the memory, something strange happens. It loses power, because embarrassing thoughts survive through resistance. The more you panic about remembering them, the stronger they feel. But when a memory appears, and you stop treating it like danger, your brain slowly stops reacting to it with the same intensity, not instantly, but gradually, like a loop losing momentum. And over time, those nighttime memories start changing. They still appear sometimes, but they no longer pull you all the way back into the emotion. You notice them, and then they pass. And maybe that's the real shift. Not never remembering embarrassing moments again, but no longer letting them define how you see yourself. Because being human means being awkward sometimes, being imperfect, being emotional, being misunderstood. And the people who seem perfectly confident usually have memories like this too. They just learned something important. A single embarrassing moment doesn't define your worth, and once your brain finally understands that, night becomes quieter. And once that starts happening, you notice something else. The memory itself becomes less important, because before, your brain treated it like a warning, something dangerous, something that needed to be revisited. But now, you begin seeing it differently, not as proof that something is wrong with you, but as proof that you're human, and that changes the emotional weight completely, because humans say awkward things, humans misread situations, humans embarrass themselves sometimes. That's not failure, that's social existence, but when your nervous system is highly self-aware, even small moments can feel emotionally amplified, especially at night, when there's nothing distracting you from yourself. And here's the part that matters most. You don't actually heal embarrassing memories. By perfectly explaining them, you heal them. By surviving them without attacking yourself afterward. Because the real damage often doesn't come from the moment itself. It comes from what happens later. The self-judgment, the shame, the endless replaying. That's what keeps the memory emotionally alive. But when a memory appears, and instead of fighting it, you simply let it exist. Without turning it into a statement about your worth, something changes. Your brain slowly stops treating the memory like unfinished danger, and eventually, it stops needing to bring it back so often. Not because you erased it, but because your nervous system no longer believes it needs protection from it. And maybe that's the real reason your brain replays embarrassing moments at night, not to torture you, but to protect you from experiencing that feeling again. It's just using an old survival system for modern emotional experiences. And once you realize that, you stop seeing yourself as broken and start understanding something important. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to keep you safe, even if sometimes it doesn't know when to let go.